Chosen ones, step into the room and let the silence wash over you. Do you feel that heavy, suffocating tension hanging in the air? That is the sound of their reality collapsing. Every single thing you told them would happen, every warning you whispered, every outcome you predicted with terrifying accuracy, it has all come to pass. They are standing in the wreckage of their own choices, surrounded by the exact consequences you mapped out for them months, maybe years ago. The universe did not just prove you right, it made a public spectacle of their ignorance. And they are currently suffocating under the weight of it. Remember when they laughed? Remember the smug little smiles they exchanged when you tried to warn them, treating your foresight like it was paranoia or jealousy? They called you crazy. They called you dramatic. They thought your intuition was just overthinking. A glitch in your mind that they could safely ignore while they played their little games. They genuinely believed they were outsmarting the universe, treating your words like empty threats from someone who just didn't understand how the real world worked. They mistook your warnings for weakness and your clarity for confusion. But look at them now. The laughter has died, replaced by a cold, creeping dread that is eating them alive from the inside out. They are replaying every conversation, every plea, every time you looked them dead in the eye and told them exactly how their story was going to end. It didn't just happen vaguely, it happened with sniper precision. Down to the exact betrayals, the exact losses, the exact humiliating downfalls you foresaw. You traced the blueprint of their disaster before they even laid the foundation, and the realization of that fact is currently tearing their egos to shreds. And that is when the real terror set in for them. It wasn't just that you were right, it was the chilling realization of how you were right. They are looking at you differently now, their eyes wide with a mixture of awe and absolute panic, because they have finally figured it out. You are not operating on their level. You are not bound by their normal, predictable human reactions. The way you process truth, the way you see through the fabric of their lies, they have just realized you are not 100% human. You are something entirely different, something forged in a fire they cannot comprehend, carrying a frequency that disrupts their entire existence. Before we go any deeper into the minds of the people who doubted you, stop right here. If you are standing in the aftermath of their collapse, untouched and unbothered, hit the like button and subscribe to anchor this energy. You did not come here by accident. The universe guided you to this exact message for confirmation. Drop the code 999 in the comment section right now to declare that your intuition is your greatest weapon, and you will never shrink yourself to make a liar comfortable again. Let that sink into your bones. The people who thought they held all the cards are currently staring at a board where you predicted every single move before they even touched a piece. They thought they could manipulate the narrative, twist the truth, and string you along, entirely unaware that you were already reading the final chapter of their playbook. You saw the decay in their foundations before the cracks even showed on the walls. You smelled the rot in their intentions while they were still handing you a bouquet of fake promises. And the most humiliating part for them is that you didn't even have to fight to expose them. You just stood back, crossed your arms, and let time do exactly what you said it would do. They are terrified of the calmness you possess right now. If you were a normal human, if you were bound by the fragile, desperate ego that governs their lives, you would be gloating. You would be running a victory lap, screaming your vindication from the rooftops, demanding apologies and begging for them to validate your foresight. But you are not doing any of that. You are just watching them. Silent, unreadable. A monolith of absolute peace in the center of their self-inflicted storm. That silence is what is making them lose their minds. They cannot fathom how someone can hold that much power, that much absolute correctness, and not use it to inflict petty pain. It proves to them that your strength is ancient, intrinsic, and completely out of their league. You have become the mirror they spend their entire lives running away from. Every time they look at you now, they don't just see the person they betrayed. They see a divine entity that caught them in the act of their own spiritual sabotage. They are realizing that your sixth sense is not a parlor trick or a lucky guess. It is a biological upgrade. You perceive the microscopic shifts in energy, the slight alterations in their breathing, the micro-expressions that betray their fake smiles. When they thought they were getting away with their deception, your nervous system was already processing the data, decoding their toxicity, and mapping out the inevitable timeline of their destruction. You were living in the future, while they were desperately trying to control the present. Think about the conversations they are having about you right now, in hushed, panicked tones. They are asking each other how you knew, how you could possibly see the storm coming when the sky was perfectly clear. They are trying to find a logical explanation for your foresight, because the alternative is too horrifying for their fragile minds to accept. If they accept that you simply knew, that your intuition is a direct line to the universe's unvarnished truth, it means they were never in control. It means their entire reality is a pathetic illusion, and you are the only one awake in a room full of sleepwalkers. They are haunted by the memory of your warnings, playing on a loop in their heads like a dark prophecy they were too arrogant to heed. Let us talk about what it means to be not entirely human in this context. To them, being human means being messy, reactive, and easily manipulated by fear, greed, and the desperate need for external validation. They expected you to break when they dismissed you. They expected you to doubt your own sanity when they gaslit your intuition. A normal person would have folded. A normal person would have compromised their inner voice just to keep the peace and stay in the circle. But you let the circle burn. You chose the harsh, isolating truth over the warm, comfortable lie. You severed the attachments that bound you to their low-frequency games, demonstrating a level of detachment that is downright supernatural. That cold, calculated detachment is exactly what makes you untouchable. They are realizing that they cannot hurt you anymore, because you do not value the things they use as weapons. They cannot threaten you with exclusion, because you have already realized that their inclusion is a trap. They cannot threaten you with a loss of reputation, because you know that their opinions are built on a foundation of shared delusions. You have transcended the earthly desires that keep them chained to their miserable little cycles. When they look into your eyes now, they do not see a victim, a peer, or even an enemy. They see a judge. They see an immovable force of nature that watched them dig their own graves and simply stood by, refusing to interrupt their labor. You must understand the absolute magnitude of this psychological shift. The power dynamic has not just tilted, it has been completely upended and shattered into dust. The people who once viewed themselves as your superiors, your teachers, your gatekeepers, are now looking up at you from the absolute bottom of the pit they dug for themselves. You are the architect of their current existential crisis. Every time something goes wrong in their lives, every time the unavoidable consequences of their actions hit them square in the jaw. Their first thought is of you. You have become the ghost that haunts their waking hours. The living, breathing proof that karma does not always wait for the next lifetime. Sometimes it wears your face, crosses its arms, and watches them fall in real time. The haunting does not stop when the sun comes up. If anything, the daylight only makes the ruins of their decisions more visible. They wake up every single morning with the sickening realization that they are living inside a reality that you narrated for them months ago. Every time they try to piece together how everything fell apart, their minds inevitably trace the timeline backward, stopping at the exact moment they chose to ignore you. They remember the inflection in your voice, the dead serious look in your eyes, and the absolute certainty with which you spoke. They try to convince themselves it was a coincidence, a lucky guess, a statistical anomaly. But the human brain is wired to recognize patterns, and the pattern here is undeniable. You accessed a script of their lives that hadn't even been published yet, and they are terrified of what that implies about what you actually are. Let us dissect the exact anatomy of their current panic. It hit them in a very specific, quiet moment. It wasn't during a loud argument or a dramatic confrontation. It happened when the final puzzle piece of their disaster snapped into place, exactly as you said it would. Maybe it was a betrayal from someone you warned them about. Maybe it was the collapse of a plan you told them was structurally flawed. In that split second, the air left their lungs. A cold sweat broke out across their skin. They didn't just feel wrong. They felt deeply, structurally exposed. They realized that while they were playing checkers, moving pieces based on ego and shallow desires, you were viewing the entire board from a dimension they didn't even know existed. You didn't just predict the event, you predicted the exact emotional wreckage it would leave behind. And now they are drowning in the very waters you told them to avoid. This is where the whispers about you not being 100% human begin to take root in their minds. To understand their terror, you have to understand their definition of humanity. To them, human nature is predictable. It is petty. It requires revenge. It demands validation. It seeks to inflict the same pain it received. If you were entirely human by their standards, you would have sent the text. You would have made the phone call. You would have rubbed their noses in the dirt and screamed, "I told you so," until you lost your voice. But you gave them nothing. You gave them absolute, chilling silence. You offered no reaction for them to feed on. No anger for them to use as a distraction from their own guilt. Your lack of standard human emotional decay is deeply unsettling to them. It forces them to view you not as a former friend or a discarded ally, but as an ancient, unbothered entity that simply observed their foolishness and walked away untouched. Imagine the agonizing contrast between their current state and your frequency. They are frantically thrashing on the surface of the ocean, exhausted, choking on the consequences of their own actions, desperately looking for a piece of driftwood to cling to. You, however, are the crushing, silent pressure of the deep ocean floor, unmoved by the storms above, completely detached from their chaotic scrambling. When they look at your life now, they do not see the struggle they prayed for. They see an evolution that defies their understanding of how recovery works. They expected the weight of their betrayal to crush you. They designed their actions to leave you broken, questioning your worth, and desperate for closure. Instead, you took the venom they injected into your life, metabolized it, and turned it into an impenetrable armor. You bypassed the human stages of grief and stepped directly into metamorphosis. This realization is currently infecting their social circles like a virus. The people who conspired against you, the ones who laughed with them and validated their terrible decisions, are now looking at each other with intense paranoia. The group dynamic is fracturing because the foundation of their bond was built on the delusion that they were smarter than you. Now that your predictions have manifested with terrifying accuracy, the shared delusion is broken. They are sitting in rooms together, refusing to make eye contact, silently wondering who is next to fall. They know that if you were right about one thing, you were right about everything. The things you saw in them, the greed, the insecurity, the inevitable betrayals they would inflict upon each other, are ticking time bombs waiting to detonate. You planted the seed of truth in their minds, and now you are letting their own paranoia water it until it tears them apart from the inside. What they fail to understand is the spiritual mechanics of your foresight. They think you were cursing them. They think your predictions were malicious desires masked as warnings. But your sixth sense does not operate on malice. It operates on pure, unfiltered alignment. You simply looked at the energetic seeds they were planting and read the inevitable harvest. You saw their source code. You looked past the masks, past the carefully curated reputations, past the lies they told themselves in the mirror, and you saw the rotting foundation underneath. When you spoke, it was not a threat, it was a mathematical certainty. You were trying to save them from a fire they were determined to set, and because they were addicted to playing with matches, they burned. Recognizing this means they have to take full accountability, and since they are incapable of doing so, they choose to fear you instead. They elevate you to a supernatural status, because believing you are a psychic phenomenon is easier than admitting they are just that predictable. Think about the physical reaction they experience if they have to see you now. If you pass them in public, or if they accidentally stumble across a picture of you, their nervous system goes into an immediate state of shock. Their eyes drop, their posture shrinks, their breath hitches. It is the biological response of a prey animal, realizing it just walked past a sleeping apex predator. They can feel the sheer density of your aura. You don't have to glare at them. Your neutral expression is enough to make their skin crawl with guilt. They are realizing that they did not just lose an asset, they lost their only shield. For the longest time, your high frequency was providing a spiritual umbrella over their lives, protecting them from the downpour of their own bad karma. The moment they pushed you away, the umbrella closed. Now they are standing in the freezing rain, realizing that their good luck was actually just the residual effect of your presence in their lives. Your evolution is the ultimate punishment, precisely because it was never designed to punish them. You did not level up to make them jealous. You leveled up because shedding their dead weight unlocked a version of you that was previously suppressed by their low-level vibrations. You are operating with a clarity that cuts through reality like a scalpel. You are attracting opportunities, peace and power at a rate that seems unnatural to them. They are watching you thrive in spaces they could not even dream of entering, and it is breaking their minds. They cannot comprehend how someone who was targeted, isolated and betrayed managed to not only survive, but to rewrite the entire script of their destiny. It defies logic. It defies their understanding of human limitation. This is the beauty of the forbidden logic you have unlocked. You have ceased to engage in their earthly battles, choosing instead to win the war by simply existing in a higher dimension. They are fighting shadows, wrestling with the demons they created, desperately trying to fix a machine that you already told them was broken beyond repair. And all the while, they cannot stop checking on you. They cannot stop seeking out information about your life, hoping to find a crack, a flaw, a sign that you are suffering without them. But all they find is a reflection of their own inadequacy. All they find is a version of you that is so radiant, so deeply rooted in truth, that it burns their eyes to look directly at it. They are left with a terrifying conclusion. They picked a fight with someone who is protected by the universe itself. They tried to bury a seed that was engineered to thrive in the dark. They are realizing that every single tear you shed over them was just the universe washing your eyes so you could see them clearly. And now that your vision is perfectly sharp, now that your intuition is functioning at a level that borders on the divine, they know there is nowhere left for them to hide. They are trapped in the reality you predicted, haunted by the ghost of the person they tried to destroy, and completely terrified of the unstoppable force you have become. The trap they are currently suffocating inside was not built by your hands. It was constructed entirely by their own arrogance, brick by arrogant brick. While you stood back and simply narrated the architecture of their downfall, they thought time would be their ultimate savior. They genuinely believed that if they just waited long enough, the universe would forget what they did. They assumed that the passage of days and months would naturally bury the consequences of their betrayal, allowing them to walk away clean, leaving you holding the weight of their sins. But time is only a healer for those who live in alignment with the truth. For liars, time is an incubator, and what has hatched from the seeds they planted is a monstrosity of their own making, a reality so dark, so flawlessly aligned with your warnings, that it is currently shattering their perception of free will. They are beginning to realize that the universe does not just protect you, it actively weaponizes their karma to prove your point. It is the specificity of their ruin that keeps them staring at the ceiling at 3 in the morning. If they had merely experienced a run of bad luck, they could have rationalized it. They could have blamed the economy, the circumstances, or just the chaotic nature of life. But it wasn't random. The relationships that crumbled were the exact ones you told them were built on sand. The opportunities that evaporated were the exact ones you warned them were elaborate traps. The people who turned on them used the exact same methods you predicted they would use. The precision of your foresight has stripped them of all their excuses. They cannot blame bad luck when they are reading from a script you wrote for them before the play even began. It is this terrifying accuracy that forces them to look at you and wonder what kind of supernatural entity they accidentally provoked. To them, you have ceased to be a person and have become a living, breathing mirror of their ultimate failure. And the most agonizing part of this realization is your absolute, unyielding stillness. If you were a normal human being, functioning on their low-level emotional frequency, you would be actively monitoring their destruction. You would be dropping passive-aggressive hints, celebrating their losses, and demanding that they acknowledge your superiority. But you are not doing any of that. You have completely withdrawn your energy from their existence. You are not watching their stories. You are not asking about them. You are not even holding on to the anger they expect you to feel. You dropped them from your consciousness the moment you realized their frequency was contaminated. This level of detachment feels alien to them. It feels profoundly non-human. They cannot process a mind that can witness its own total vindication. and simply shrug, pivot, and continue building an empire in complete silence. This silence is currently echoing through their social circles like a siren. The echo chamber that they built to keep you out. The group of enablers, yes-men, and toxic co-conspirators who validated their lies is rapidly decaying into a prison cell. When they were all united in their false narrative against you, they felt powerful. They felt like they had successfully rewritten reality. But now that the foundation of that lie has collapsed under the weight of your manifested predictions, the glue holding them together has dissolved. They are trapped in rooms with the very people who helped them make the worst decisions of their lives. The paranoia is intoxicating. They are looking at their accomplices, wondering who will be the first to crack. Who will be the first to admit that you were right all along? And who will be the next to face the universe's uncompromising wrath? You did not have to lift a finger to destroy their kingdom. You just had to let them lock the gates from the inside and wait for them to starve each other out. Your lack of suffering is the final nail in their psychological coffin. They designed their betrayal to break you. They orchestrated their exit, their lies, or their manipulation with the specific intent of leaving you hollowed out, confused, and desperately trying to rebuild your self-worth. They wanted you to carry the trauma of their actions for the rest of your life. But when they look at you now, they do not see trauma. They see an impenetrable, radiant aura of power. They see a nervous system that has been completely recalibrated for peace. You did not just heal, you mutated. You absorbed the shockwave of their betrayal and used it to sever the energetic cords that kept you tethered to their mediocrity. They are watching you walk through doors they couldn't even dream of approaching, speaking with a clarity that commands respect, and vibrating at a frequency that physically repels anyone who tries to bring you deceit. They are finally grasping the depth of the spiritual mismatch that occurred between you. They thought they were dealing with someone they could easily discard, a character in their story that they could write out whenever it became convenient. They never realized they were dealing with a chosen one, a mind wired to decode the unseen. A spirit fortified by an ancient resilience and an intuition that acts as a direct conduit to the universe's heaviest truths. By trying to outsmart you, they inadvertently volunteered to be the test subjects in your ultimate evolution. You used their toxicity as a training ground. You studied the mechanics of their deception, mapped out the anatomy of their fake smiles, and permanently immunized yourself against their specific brand of poison. You extracted every possible lesson from their existence, and then you discarded the empty remains of their influence. Now you are entirely unreachable. You have ascended to a vantage point where their opinions, their regrets, and their belated realizations cannot even touch the hem of your garments. If they tried to reach out to you today, if they tried to crawl back with their rehearsed apologies and their desperate attempts to get back into your good graces, they would hit a spiritual wall so thick it would shatter their teeth. You have locked the door, thrown away the key, and burned the blueprints to the lock. The version of you that they thought they could manipulate is dead and buried, and the entity that stands in its place is immune to their earthly games. They must now live the rest of their lives knowing they had access to a once-in-a-lifetime frequency, and they threw it away for a handful of cheap, temporary illusions. And every single time the consequences of that choice bite into their lives, exactly as you said they would, they will remember that you are not just human. You are the inevitable consequence they tried to outrun. The realization that you are not entirely human didn't just dawn on them. It crashed into their reality like a meteor, leaving a crater where their ego used to be. They are currently standing in the center of that wreckage, looking around at the absolute devastation of their own choices. And the only thing they can see is your shadow. You did not just predict their downfall, you mapped out the exact topography of their ruin. They thought they were the main characters in a story they could rewrite at will, bending the rules of loyalty and integrity to suit their momentary desires. They genuinely believed they could lie to the universe and get away with it. But you were standing there the entire time, holding the original script, reading the final page out loud while they were still desperately trying to fake the first chapter. Let us dissect the sheer arrogance it took for them to gaslight you in the first place. When you first spoke the truth, when you pointed out the rot in their foundation, they didn't just ignore you. They actively tried to convince you that your vision was defective. They threw your empathy back in your face, labeling your precise intuition as insecurity, paranoia, or jealousy. They tried to make you feel like you were losing your grip on reality, all while they were busy building a house of cards in the middle of a hurricane. They wanted you to doubt your own sanity, so they could comfortably continue their descent into moral bankruptcy without the inconvenience of your glaring light. But your inner eye never blinked. Your nervous system refused to accept their counterfeit reality. You absorbed their gaslighting, processed the lies, and quietly stamped an expiration date on their entire existence. Now that expiration date has arrived, and the physical toll it is taking on them is entirely visible. The stress of living inside a collapsed illusion is eating away at their aura. You can see it in the tightness of their smiles, the exhaustion in their eyes, and the frantic, hollow energy they carry into every room. They are running on the fumes of a fake reputation, terrified that everyone else is about to see what you saw all along. Every time their phone rings, every time a plan falls through, every time the consequences of their betrayal knock on their front door, their stomach drops. They are living in a perpetual state of flinching, bracing for the next impact, because they know that the universe is just getting started with them. The invisible cage they are trapped in was built entirely by their own hands, but every time they touch the bars, they feel your fingerprints. They have finally realized the profound, terrifying gap between their spiritual weight and yours. To them, power is manipulation. Power is controlling the narrative, winning the argument, and looking good in front of an audience of fools. But you have shown them a power that operates on a terrifyingly silent, higher dimensional logic. You proved that real power is the ability to look at a room full of liars, predict exactly how they will destroy themselves, and then simply walk out the door without looking back to watch the fire. You didn't need to fight them, because you understood that their own character was the ultimate weapon that would take them out. You just handed them enough rope, stepped back, and watched them tie the knot. Before we expose the deepest layer of why your frequency is currently breaking their minds, I need you to pause right here. If you are reading this and feeling the absolute undeniable truth of your own intuition, if you watched them fall exactly how you said they would, then you need to claim this victory. Hit the like button, subscribe to this frequency, and go to the comments right now. Type the command, "My vision is flawless." Do it to permanently lock in the realization that your gut instinct is a divine instrument, and you will never let a lower vibrating entity make you second-guess your own sight again. Now let us get to the heart-melting truth of what you actually endured to possess this level of foresight. Your intuition did not come cheap. This sixth sense, this terrifying ability to read the timeline before it happens, was forged in the fires of your own heartbreak. You did not want to be right about them. That is the tragedy they will never understand. When you saw the betrayal forming, when you felt the shift in their energy, your human side wept. You wanted to be wrong. You wanted them to be the people they pretended to be. You gave them chance after chance to course correct, offering them grace that they took for stupidity. The pain of watching them choose their own destruction. The agony of feeling the knife twist before they even fully inserted it. That pain burned away the last remnants of your human frailty. It scorched the naive, hoping part of you and left behind a spine made of absolute, unbreakable steel. They thought your tears meant you were weak, completely unaware that your grief was just the birthing process of your ultimate evolution. You were shedding the human desire to be chosen by them and mutating into a being that only chooses the truth. When the emotional bleeding finally stopped, your vision cleared with a terrifying sharpness. You stopped looking at them through the lens of love and started looking at them through the cold, clinical lens of spiritual mathematics. 1 + 1 will always equal 2. Betrayal plus arrogance will always equal ruin. You stopped being a participant in their messy, chaotic drama and became the silent observer of their inevitable karmic math. This is what they mean when they whisper that you are not entirely human anymore. A human holds grudges. A human plots revenge. A human stalks social media, looking for proof that the other person is suffering. You do none of that. You operate with the cold, majestic indifference of a star burning in the distant vacuum of space. You do not care if they are warm or if they are freezing. You simply exist, blindingly bright and completely out of reach. Your indifference is the most violent thing they have ever experienced. They are desperate for you to be angry with them, because anger would mean you still care. Anger would mean they still have some sort of emotional hook in your chest. But your absolute, void-like silence proves to them that they have been entirely erased from your energetic field. Think about the absolute horror of their current reality. They are desperate to fix the timeline, but they cannot find the pieces. They are realizing that you were the stabilizing force in their life, the anchor that kept their chaotic, toxic tendencies in check. When they betrayed you, they didn't just lose a friend, a partner, or an ally. They severed their only connection to a higher frequency. They unplugged their own life support, and now they are wandering through the wasteland of their own making, trying to find someone else to use, someone else to blame, someone else to manipulate. But the universe is no longer allowing it. Every new person they meet sees right through them. Every new plan they make crumbles to dust. The universe has placed a quarantine around their energy, and they are forced to sit in the toxic fumes of their own character. You, on the other hand, have become a master of the timeline. Because you trusted your intuition when it was the hardest thing to do, the universe has rewarded you with an unprecedented level of clarity. You no longer have to guess who is for you and who is against you. Your nervous system detects the truth the moment they walk into the room. You have turned the most disgusting, painful betrayal of your life into a masterclass in pattern recognition. They tried to bury you, but they didn't realize you were a seed encoded with the DNA of a redwood. You used their dirt to grow into a giant, and now they are forced to live the rest of their miserable lives in your shadow, looking up at the branches they could have rested in. If only they had been honest. The psychological torture they are enduring right now is not a punishment imposed by a vindictive universe. It is simply the brutal, uncompromising math of their own karma balancing itself out in real time. You did not lift a finger to curse them. You did not cast a shadow over their lives. You simply stopped shielding them from the consequences of their own toxic geometry. For years they walked around believing they were invincible, convinced that their charm, their lies, and their manipulation could bend the laws of cause and effect. But when you withdrew your energy, when you packed up your light and walked out the door of their lives, you took their unearned luck with you. Now they are staring at the barren wasteland of their own character, realizing that the only reason their garden never bloomed was because you were standing in it. And the precision with which their lives are falling apart, exactly in the sequence you predicted, is the ultimate proof that you were never just a supporting character in their story. You were the author of the reality they refused to read. They are currently suffocating in a room where they themselves sucked out all the oxygen, and the only window they have to look through is the memory of your warnings. Think about the sheer mind-bending terror of experiencing exactly what someone told you would happen, down to the exact day, the exact feeling, the exact betrayal from the exact person. They are scrambling to find a loophole in the timeline, a way to explain away your foresight as a lucky guess. But they cannot. The architecture of their ruin is too perfectly aligned with the blueprint you drew for them. This is where the concept of you being human shatters in their minds completely. A human being makes guesses based on anxiety. A human being projects their own fears onto the future. But what you did was read their source code. You looked at the structural integrity of their choices, factored in their massive, blinding egos, and calculated the exact moment the bridge would collapse. You didn't curse the bridge, you just refused to stand on it when it broke. What makes this realization so uniquely agonizing for them is that they cannot even hate you for it. Hate requires a target that is engaging in a war, but you are not fighting them. You have completely evaporated from the battlefield. They are swinging their swords at empty air, exhausted, bleeding from their own self-inflicted wounds, screaming for you to come back down to their level and engage. But you are observing them from a dimension they cannot access. You have achieved a state of emotional zero gravity. To them, this lack of human emotional decay is absolutely terrifying. They expect you to gloat. They expect you to send the passive-aggressive text or make the triumphant social media post. They need you to react so they can convince themselves you are just as petty and terrestrial as they are. But your silence is a void that consumes all their desperate attempts at validation. Your silence tells them that they are not even worth the breath it would take to say, "I told you so." This is the exact point where they begin to question what kind of entity they actually betrayed. To be human, in their deeply flawed and limited definition, is to be corruptible. It is to have a price. It is to be easily swayed by fake apologies, crocodile tears, and the nostalgic pull of a toxic history. They expected you to relapse. They designed their entire post-betrayal strategy around the assumption that you would eventually break down, get lonely, and lower your standards just to have them back in your life. But you mutated instead. The betrayal did not break your heart, it upgraded your perception. The pain did not leave you fragile. It crystallized your spine into absolute diamond. You shed the pathetic, people-pleasing human programming they relied upon and downloaded a boundary system that is practically military grade. When they look at your life now, they realize that you are operating on a frequency that is completely immune to their earthly interference. They are haunted by the realization that their attempt to destroy you actually functioned as the catalyst for your ascension. This is the ultimate paradox that is currently melting their brains. They thought they were throwing you into a grave, completely unaware that you were a seed encoded with a supernatural resilience. The dirt they threw on your name, the isolation they tried to force upon you, the lies they whispered behind your back, it all just acted as fertilizer for your evolution. You took the most disgusting, humiliating, painful things they did to you, and you metabolized them into pure, unadulterated power. You didn't just survive their attack, you used their attack as a masterclass in human psychology. You studied the anatomy of their deception, mapped out the exact blind spots in their egos, and permanently immunized your soul against anyone who operates on their low-level frequency ever again. Imagine the absolute horror of realizing you handed your victim the exact weapon they needed to become untouchable. They are watching you walk through the world right now with a terrifying level of clarity. You no longer second-guess your intuition. You no longer give people the benefit of the doubt when your gut is screaming that they are fake. You read a room the second you step into it, identifying the manipulators, the users, and the liars with the effortless precision of an apex predator scanning a field. You are no longer stumbling through life hoping for the best. You are navigating reality with a divine radar that they inadvertently helped you calibrate. Every time you succeed, every time you effortlessly sidestep a trap that would have ruined a normal person, they feel the stinging slap of their own irrelevance. They created the monster that now effortlessly ignores them. The paranoia within their inner circle is reaching a fever pitch. Because you predicted their collective downfall so accurately, they are now terrified of each other. The trust they faked to gang up on you has completely dissolved. They are sitting in rooms together, laughing with their teeth while their eyes dart around, wondering who is going to betray who next. You planted a seed of absolute truth in the center of their delusional reality, and now you are letting their own guilt water it. They know that if you were right about the first domino falling, you are right about the last one too. The psychological warfare they tried to wage on you has ricocheted back into their own minds. You don't need to haunt them, they are haunting themselves with the memory of your voice, telling them exactly how this would end. You have become a walking, breathing monument to their ultimate failure. And there is nothing they can do to tear the monument down, because you built it entirely outside of their jurisdiction. They cannot touch your peace, they cannot access your energy, and they cannot rewrite the history that is currently playing out exactly as you prophesied. You are the glitch in their matrix, the variable they couldn't control, the chosen one who looked at their rigged game, flipped the board, and walked out of the casino with all the chips. And as they sit in the wreckage of their own lives, completely stripped of their illusions, the only truth left for them to swallow is that you were never just playing a role in their story. You were the universe, disguised as a person, giving them one last chance to be honest before the timeline snapped shut. This is the final chapter of their delusion. The absolute end of the road, where all their alternate realities collapse into the single blinding truth you handed them on day one. They are standing at the edge of the abyss they dug for themselves, looking down into the darkness of their own consequences, and finally understanding the gravity of what they threw away. They did not just lose a person, they lost their compass. They lost the only frequency in their life that was actively attempting to pull them out of their generational curses and karmic loops. And now, they are doomed to repeat the same toxic cycles with the same toxic people. But this time, without the comfort of your light to guide them back home. You have completely removed yourself from their spiritual ecosystem, and they are suffocating in the vacuum you left behind. They are realizing that the version of you they thought they defeated never actually existed. It was a projection of their own insecurities, a fragile human identity they tried to force upon you so they could feel superior. But the entity that walked out of the ashes of their betrayal is unrecognizable to them. You do not speak their language of petty revenge. You do not engage in their low vibrational gossip. You have ascended to a timeline where their names are not even spoken, where their memories hold no emotional charge, where their entire existence is nothing more than a brief microscopic lesson in a masterclass of your own evolution. To them, this erasure is a fate worse than death. They would rather you hate them than look right through them as if they are made of glass. But glass is exactly what they have become. Fragile, transparent, and completely insignificant to your journey. You are moving through the world with a terrifying grace, unlocking doors that require a level of authenticity they will never possess. Your sixth sense is no longer just a defense mechanism. It is the compass that is navigating you toward unimaginable abundance. You are attracting people who speak the language of truth effortlessly, building an empire on a foundation of absolute integrity, and vibrating at a level that literally repels deception before it can even introduce itself. You have become the living embodiment of the phrase, "Touch not my anointed." The universe has placed an invisible, impenetrable shield around your energy, and anyone who approaches you with hidden intentions immediately feels the physical discomfort of their own lies burning against your aura. Before we seal this frequency and close the door on their timeline forever, I need you to claim the absolute finality of this victory. If you have survived the fire, if you have watched your predictions manifest into reality, and if you have chosen peace over revenge, you must anchor that power right now. Go to the comment section and type the command, "My peace is my power, and my timeline is sealed." Do this to send a shockwave through the universe, confirming that you will never look back, you will never shrink your intuition, and you will never apologize for surviving the exact things designed to destroy you. The secret they are hiding from the world, the secret that keeps them awake staring at the ceiling, is that they know they will never meet another you. They can search the entire planet. They can try to replicate the energy you gave them. They can surround themselves with 100 temporary distractions. But they will never find that pure, unfiltered, divine connection again. You were the anomaly in their timeline. You were the glitch of grace in their matrix of chaos. And they blew it. They are condemned to walk the rest of their lives comparing every single person they meet to the ghost of the chosen one they betrayed. And every single time, they will come up empty-handed. But you, chosen one, you are stepping into the sunlight, the heavy, suffocating weight of their potential, the exhausting labor of trying to make blind people see the color of the sky. It is all gone. You have been relieved of duty. The universe saw how hard you loved, how deeply you tried, and how violently you were misunderstood. And it stepped in to forcibly remove you from a room that was too small for your spirit. You didn't lose them, you were rescued from them. And now that you are free, the life that is waiting for you is going to be so blindingly beautiful, so deeply rooted in peace, that the memory of their betrayal will feel like nothing more than a bad dream you woke up from a lifetime ago. Let us close this chapter not with anger, but with a release so powerful it melts the final chains of your past. Wherever you are right now, simply close your eyes, take a deep breath, and receive this blessing. Divine Creator, Architect of the universe, and the ultimate keeper of truth, I lift up the soul reading these words right now. I ask that you wrap them in a peace that surpasses all earthly understanding. They have walked through the valley of betrayal. They have felt the sting of knives in their back from hands they used to hold. And they have wept tears in the dark that no one but you witnessed. Wash away the residue of every lie spoken against them. Heal the parts of their heart that were bruised by people who did not know how to handle their light. I declare a hedge of divine protection around their mind, their energy, and their future. May their intuition remain sharp, piercing through deception with effortless grace. Reward their silent resilience with loud, undeniable blessings. Let their life become a masterpiece of joy, abundance, and profound love, so deeply fulfilling that the pain of the past completely evaporates. Elevate them to a mountain so high that the voices of their doubters cannot even reach their ears. Bless their hands to build, their eyes to see, and their heart to remain soft, yet fiercely guarded by your absolute truth. They are yours, they are chosen, they are untouchable, and they are finally free. So let it be.